what's good? Back on Stadium. Braun, Pierzynski, Frazier, Kratz. Your baseballer viral hit of the week definitely got some attention. The league is like cackling about it. Like, whoo, it's great attention for the league. It's so weird. Yep. So MLB employee Chris Russo also works for Sirius, and he said this a couple games ago about the Diamondbacks.
I've been wrong in Arizona from day one. I'm stunned to beat Milwaukee. I thought they'd get swept by the Dodgers. I never thought they'd even go back to Philly for a Game 6. I'll try it one more time. I would not be stunned if they won tonight. I would be floored. And I'll say this right now. I'll say this right now. And Bob Raceman, write it down. If they win the next 2 days, they win the next 2 games and win this series in 7 games, if they win, I will retire on the spot.
Torey Lovullo was aware of the comments and said, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, he had some fiery comments too. Like, there was a lot more. I watched like this video where it circulated in Arizona, and they were like, if that doesn't pump you up, because it was kind of about how it's us against the world. And this is the prime example, when you have someone who works for the league saying this. So here is the Diamondbacks players post-game partying. There you go. All right. So what's funny about that is I'm not even kidding, and I can say this because I worked for the league for a while. There are some executives that are like, they love him. Look, this is great attention, and the players love it. I'm like, the players turn the television off or like wipe anything out related to that every time. It crushes credibility. It crushes like our sport being modern and cool and fun. Like, they literally think it's good for the sport today. They are like texting in group texts, right? Like all the suits being like, look how good this is. This is awesome. It's all about our boy.
Did you hear what they said at the end, though? Retire, loser. That's what the part that they need to understand. They said, retire, loser. This don't say this, and they're going to say, oh, well, now he's trying to get out of it by walking through New York in like a bikini with like, I'm a loser. We know you're a loser, Mad Dog. Go away, retire, please. Make everyone happy. Just retire. Don't put this out there and say I'm going to retire and then be like, oh, I was just talking about radio. Like, no, you were talking about everything. Retire from MLB Network. Retire from whatever it is else you do, radio, whatever else. If you want to stay on ESPN, fine. Go on ESPN. Great. But get the heck off MLB Network because I'm tired of hearing stories about Joe DiMaggio, right? Players don't go on your show. They go on to talk to Alana Rizzo, not you. Yeah, managers go on because guess what? They have to. It's part of their contract. They have to go on MLB Network, and they have to go on with you. But players don't go on with you. So please retire. It's time. You've had a great run. Bye-bye now.
This reminds me of the dude in the games, that the fan that's like heckling, and he's like, yeah, you suck, and he turns around and gets like high fives from his buddies. That's what they're doing right now. Like, he just heckled the Diamondbacks, and then he's turning around getting high fives. Look at our 4 people that have shown up on our show and watched. Like, we've had more Diamondbacks on our show than the Christopher Russo show has.
Obviously. Also, I thought you had the best idea, Kratz, about what to do. Yeah. We all knew. I mean, I said, what did I say? AJ made fun of me. I said, my lock of the year is I'll retire if he retires. I'm here today. Sorry about it. Did I not say that?
That ruined 2 of our lives.
Exactly.
I'm not retiring.
Yeah, but it shows my credibility. Because I'm way younger and way, 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 way less wealthy than him. I cannot just retire right now. And I was that confident that he would be doing his job today. That all of this is just BS, and the league is like, oh, we need to figure something out, right? Like,
just donate your money
for the sport. One way to really don't donate salary. That's a great idea. No?
He's not doing anything.
Of course not. But
it was all bullshit.
That's the point. $3.5 million MLB salary you could give to charity. That would be sick.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It was just him popping off like he always does. and then no consequences coming out of it. Oh, he's got to walk again. What I read, he has to walk through Times
Joey
Square in a
Votto said
bikini.
that.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Nobody. Maybe people in New York care. Maybe Todd cares in Jersey. I don't know.
No.
But I mean, nobody cares that what this. He said something, and one thing you have.
And there's Votto.
No, but he did do this.
Who?
I thought he agreed to this.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He
was
agreed.
just saying to, they're making.
He
that
wouldn't.
the
He wouldn't
story
say.
now
It said
and-
the sign was supposed to say I'm a douche, and
Correct.
he wouldn't do that. It said I'm a loser or something.
Yeah.
Well, you're both. So, I mean, you should just have them both on there. But still, like, it's such just. I hate when people listen. If you're gonna say something like the way he said it, like, "Oh, I'll say it with my chest. I'm so tough. I'm Chris Russo," and then it happens. Bye bye, as NSYNC says. Bye bye bye.
I like that one. That was solid. I wish you gave a little more tone in that voice, like sing it. That would be great.
I mean, I don't want my boys from NSYNC, my high school guys, my fellow high school alumni.
Of course, he's in the NSYNC group text.
Be calling me and say like,
Another,
you butchered our song.
Another name drop, kid. I love
Name
it.
drop.
That wasn't a name drop. That's just facts.
No, that's a group drop. A
That was
group
a band
drop.
drop.
Band drop. Yeah, sorry.
You live
Sorry.
in Hollywood of Florida.
He just listen. Russo he talks, man. I've never seen a guy talk so much in my life. The guy, I honestly think this was on purpose, just because they need to get his ratings up or something. I don't know. It worked. It worked, man. You can, if you're going to talk about it, especially from this area where you've been working, you've grown up, you scream and yell, you bicker all the time, but you have to go through it, what you say. And if you're not going to do that, yeah, your credibility is gone. It's just all this now, man. I feel sorry for him, because that's just what everybody's going to know him for. It's kind of silly to say, but he got what he wanted. People are talking about him, and that's all MLB wants. That's all they want. So, and listen, kudos to him. They got everybody talking about him. That's all I give him a congratulations to.
Well, that's what the sports media machine has been feeding, right? Like, everybody complains about the same 5 dudes, don't they? Everyone complains about Skip Bayless, and he laughs his ass to the bank.
Stephen A.
It's the same dudes that just go on and they script how they're going to say stuff, and then people talk about it. It's on you, America.
Started with Jim
watches,
Rome, right?
Nobody listens.
Started with Jim Rome, right?
Was he the first?
He was kind of the first. I guess maybe Howard Stern.
It's shock jock stuff. There's a lot of guys.
But Jim
you could
Rome was
point
like the
to.
first sports guy that was like, I'm gonna say crazy things, and then it just kind of is filtered over into a bunch of different other people. And now on the TV, I mean, every time you turn on certain channels on TV about sports, it's 2 guys yelling at each other all the time. It's like, can we just talk? Can we just show highlights like we used to? Now we have 2 guys always or 2 people. It doesn't have to be males, but 2 people yelling at each other all the time about whatever they're talking about. Like, what happened to just showing the highlights and talking about the game? And why do we always have to have 2 differing points of view?
Oh, well, because I can tell you how that works. They sit in hour-long production meetings, and they're like, all right, this is how you're going to do it, and this is how you're going to – it's all fake. I'm telling you. I mean, we've talked about this, right, where if we're asking you to pick something, like pick a rankings list or, which team made the best offseason moves, like we'll have this in the offseason, right? We're always going to, on this show and on this platform, say, just actually pick what you believe in, because there are many shows that'll be like, okay, you take this team, you take that team. Like, that's fake, but it's acting. That's what it is. And also, sometimes you can raise your voice if something really crazy goes on or you're really passionate about something. But if you do it all day, every day, it's boy who cried wolf. So, but again, the core of all of this is people watch and listen and react. And that's why it exists. Because if nobody reacted to it, and it's not even that, it's more if nobody watched, right? If literally nobody watched, like Skip Bayless, or watched Mad Dog Show or whatever, that's a little different.
Nobody does watch Mad Dog Show.
That's why I can't use that example as well.
That's a bad example.
But I'm saying,
because there's not, okay, you guys retired after I retired. I retired after 16, and his show was on.
I quit.
Nobody watched that show. Not one player. As soon as that show came on the TV in a clubhouse, you find the clubhouse going to be like, dude, put on women's freaking Finnish dog sledding. Anything you could come up with, right? Like, Anything that wasn't that show, you're like, find something else, please. And it was in every single. I mean, at least it was in teams I was on.
Yeah, they would flip to. Usually, I would see it. They'd flip to ESPN.
Anything.
Yep. Because there's no highlights. There was nothing substantial about the show. And I think that's the biggest thing. From a player's side of it, is the gripe about the fact that he's unaware of what's going on in the game. And they piecemeal together a show. And if the players go on, they talk to Alana, who has been on the field. She's married to an ex-player. Like, she has the connection. There's no connection there. That's what fans want. They want the connection with the players.
Isn't he backed by MLB? Like MLB and him are like this now, Scott?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was just making sure. I didn't want to go off base there, but
You're talking about Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So he
best buds with the right peeps. That's
anything he talks about,
politics
it has to back up what MLB and commissioner and all those guys. So that's part of his mojo, man. That's how what he goes.
That's real talk right there. BSBLR.com and follow them at Baseballer on IG for a lot more of stories like this.